Namaste. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Um, anyway, this morning I just wanted to say I do have a book that I never published. It was done actually in 2005. It's been sitting here a long time. It's called, I got just the 220 pages worth of excerpts. Okay, it's called Song of the Butterfly, Finding the Freedom Within. As you can see, 2005, I look like I've been, like I've blown up like a balloon. Boop, somebody popped me. Obviously, I weighed quite a bit more then. Anyway, things changed, so I would have to definitely change the front cover. But it's called Song of the Butterfly, Finding the Freedom Within. And I'd have to, again, go through and have this all put in to be printed if people were interested in it. I'll read the very beginning, and then the very first page was a excerpt from Chuang-Tzu, circa 300 BCE. And it says, the ancient masters slept without dreams and woke up without worries. Their food was plain. Their breath came from deep inside them. They didn't cling to life, weren't anxious about death. They emerged without desire and re-entered without resistance. They came easily and they went easily. They didn't forget where they were from. They didn't ask where they were going. They took everything as it came gladly and walked into death without fear. They accepted life as a gift and they handed it back gratefully. So then after that is one of the writings that I had done. Before, there was deep suffering. Now there is none. Before, there was deep depression. Now there is none. Before, there was no hope. Now there is no need. Before, there was empty speculation. Now there is none. Before, there was fear. Now there is nothing to fear. Does this mean one no longer encounters the disgruntled, the angry, the sarcastic, the scornful, the prideful, and the pompous? No, of course not. One wades daily through the suffering sea of humanity. Seeing others' continued suffering, one is moved to speak the truth that realization is not a myth. One stands their ground amid the cacophony of naysayers. For this truth, this self, holds that no temporal comings and goings, no care for ups and downs that are part of the Shakti flow, this truth is not moved by temporary disturbances. So that was written in 2004. The index of contents, I'll go ahead and we have got part 1, God realization, the spiritual path, an overview of the path and synopsis of practices. The Guru, Diksha, the rite of initiation, God, reality and non-duality, Bhakti, karma and karma yoga, the heart, surrender, the now versus the past, the ego, mind, fear, desire, and emotions, thoughts, vairagya, witnessing, self-inquiry, the intellectual trap, self-realization, relationships, sex, and love, death, rebirth, and suicide, miscellaneous. Part 2, the Kundalini path, and it's got Part 1 Kundalini, Part 2 Kundalini, Part 3 is the Christian perspective, and it's got 3 sections there and then one on Yeshua the Christ. Part 4 is changes in consciousness, reflections bridging realization and the path beyond I am. Then there's an appendix, then it's 30 years and many miles. It's reflections on my journey. Then it has a contemplation and a glossary. Okay, so it's got quite a bit within it. So I'm just going to read a few things from it. These are all very small excerpts, okay? An overview of the spiritual path. Number 1, if you are asking, then you are being given an opportunity for it. You have found the door, you are knocking, but are you ready to enter in? Number 2, one doesn't usually begin a search for answers until it appears that nothing arising to cover over the suffering. Then one becomes serious about getting out of bondage. Number 3, there is nothing that is not God other than illusion, and illusion has no substance. Illusion brings the sense of bondage. People will suffer in their bondage until they begin to cognize it is suffering. Until that point, they will do whatever is in their power to cover it over with external events such as name, fortune, marriage, etc. Okay, so on that we have got 76 pointings on that subject. Spiritual practice, a synopsis. Number 77. Practice is about ways to move beyond the mental framework, ways to dissolve into awareness without content, ways to move from dual mind waves to non-dual is. In that, yes, the seemingly separate identity is at an end. It dies to illusion and remains as one indivisible whole. Number 78. Practice is preparation for grace. Grace brings the illusion of death to an end. Who is the you that needs to know anything? There is nothing to know except this moment, this play. Number 79. Start to simply relax and become aware of your breathing, and it will begin to relax and come from the diaphragm. The stomach moves, rather than the shallow breaths in the upper chest. This will help you to center, still, bring you into the moment. Also will prepare you for when things begin to release. This practice is so important, it is a foundational mainstay. So on the spiritual practice synopsis, we have up to 96. So there are, 20-something odd pointings. Next is the Guru. 97. Guru means dispeller of darkness, or one that gives the keys to direct experience. It is not like those that play at being a guru, which is nothing more than simply a walking book. 98. Guru is that which dispels darkness, no matter where it is entrenched. One gets what is needed. Those who come and want to play games are wasting everyone's time. If there is a holding somewhere, it will be addressed one way or another. I don't have time to work with those who want to play at intellectualism or those who just want their ego stroked to make them feel better. There is no anger here. What is given is what flows for the situation. There is a still center. There may be a hurricane which is seen from those outside, but Guru is always the still center. 99. Although we do not suffer, we still feel others' pain. We still see their tortured existence. We don't wander around with a blind eye, but there is the reality. As the saying goes, God helps those who help themselves. In other words, one must first put forth some attention in the direction of moving forward. Okay, so under the Guru, we've got from number 97 up to quite a few pages, up to 165. So quite a few pointings in that area. Okay, next we come to Diksha, number 166. And what I'm doing is just reading the first three of all these categories, so you can see basically where it's pointing. Again, they're all very small excerpts which one can kind of sit with. Okay, Diksha. Every guru and every sage will say that one needs a guru to point the way. Diksha helps to clear the way. 167. Diksha entails coming with pure intention to gain guidance and direction from Guru, to be willing to do meditation every day, also to put into motion the mantras and the practices as given. It is to commit to not doing drugs and not to be sexually rampant while on the path. Dedication and surrender is needed. Surrender to that inner truth which manifests as external and internal guru to be honest, ethical, and transparent. One comes to the guru seeking Diksha with this mindset. It is customary to bring red flowers and fruit plus some kind of dakshina or gift for the guru, showing your thank you and your willingness to support the ongoing work for humanity. There is no direct charge. It is all based upon what you feel it's worth and what you can afford at the time. It is most important to take Diksha once Kundalini begins to stir, to have a direct connection with Guru, who gives the transmission necessary and guidance that is necessary to transcend to realization. I don't give long-distance Diksha. When I'm coming to your area, I know there must be a way for you to come if it's really wanted within your heart. Number 168, Diksha is to come under the guidance of a guru. There is a bond that comes, a connection that occurs, grace then begins to appear. Okay, so that goes from number 166 up to 187. Okay, God, reality, and non-duality. God. There is nothing that exists that is not God. Number 189. One can say that God is and equally is not. How can this be? In order for God to exist, there must be something other than God. Simply, there is not. Number 190. It cannot be spoken of. It is true, no one can look at the face of God and live. God has no face. It is the formless absolute which is. One moment in the Holy of Holies, where all light proceeds from, dissolves all conceptualized ideas and belief systems. Om. So it goes from 188 up to 201. The next is reality. Number 202. It cannot be taught, cannot be watered down, does not grow, does not diminish. It is the light beyond all lights, is total and complete perfection that is ever untouched by any of the product called creation and created, yet creation has no existence without this absolute life which permeates and sustains it. It is the great paradox, which only is revealed within the Holy of Holies, which is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The living sage has no cognition except that ever-present reality, which remains in Sahaj Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It is the state where no mind rises to disturb the awareness as one. Number 203, you is never the supreme reality. The supreme reality has no cognition of a personality. The problem is you are a mind with conceptualized ideas and conditionings wrapped around the belief in a corporeal form. Number 204. Beyond knowing is that which is unknown. In that unknowing is remains beyond all relational knowledge. So we go from 202 on the subject of reality to 226. Okay. Next is non-duality. 227. All transient movement comes from a point of stillness. Movement takes place within stillness. Stillness permeates movement. It is one. Form flows in emptiness. Emptiness permeates form. It is one. Thought arises in silence. Silence permeates thought. It is one. Me arises in self. Self permeates me. It is one. Transient arises in reality. Reality permeates transient. It is one. Number 228. Realization is the knowledge that even the transient is nothing other than the dance of Nataraj, that still point that mirrors as many. Yet the mirror images are simply the empty reflections of the real. There is nothing that is not one. Om, zero. Number 229. What I am, you are. There is no separation, no higher, no lower, no more or less. The appearance of these distinctions is simply mind's waves and identification with the action as a doer, with categorization into black and white, or as a coloring book which is blank takes on the personality of the one that colors. So non-duality goes from 227 up to 243. Next we go to Bhakti, Karma, and Karma Yoga. Bhakti, number 244. There is a great need for devotion and spontaneous heart awareness, as Gyan is sterile without this. Number 245. Even Sri Ramana says there are two paths to non-duality, to realization. Number 1, Gyan, which is the direct self-inquiry, or number 2, Bhakti, which is that of total surrender to the divine. Number 246. Look at Sri Ramana. To him the mountain was Shiva. His devotional eyes saw only this. Even though he was the greatest non-dual master, he had such a heart to Shiva. So Bhakti goes from 244 to 257. Next we come to Karma. Okay. Number 258. Know that you are responsible for your actions. This is why there is karma, God's little monitoring system, so to speak. Number 259. You choose to go to a bar and have a drink versus having a soda and taking a walk in nature. One choice gives a whole different set of scenarios and possibilities for the future than does the other choice. One can also choose to surrender to what comes as part of the karmic path. Number 260. You can choose to let something drop in an argument and walk away, or you can plot and choose to get even. One releases the event, and the other may land you in jail or on a whole other course. It's your choice. You're not forced into either one. The situation faced may be karmic, but it's your choice on how to choose to act or continue to react in a blind manner and then blame it on God. Are you getting the difference? Okay, so that goes from, karma goes from 258 up to 268. Next is Karma Yoga. 269. It is the path of Karma Yoga, doing duty and seva from the heart without looking forward to what one is going to get as their due. All action is done as an offering to the Lord to surrender and to be open to grace. It is not of works that any may boast, yet works follow the sincere seeker. Sound familiar? Number 270. Maybe it is where your attention is placed if you are clinging to it. Many times it is pulled away to show that it's not needed as you think. That's quite common. Work and give up the idea of needing to gather and collect. It will right itself. Work not with the aim of gain, but rather as a service of love. There is no reason you cannot work. Work can be just as much a part of sadhana as sitting meditation. Number 271. Do something that benefits others in some way. Don't work simply for yourself. Open your heart and work out of love and dedicate it to others. Forget yourself and what you have to accomplish. There is nothing greater or lower if done out of love. Sweeping a street is just as essential as running a country. If everyone worked from the heart out of love for others instead of egotistical self, then there would not be the need for someone to run the country. It would look after itself. Boy, is that relevant for today. So this goes from 269 to 273. Next we go to the heart. Number 274. Open the heart, as within it is a seed that can flower into a whole and complete self of infinite possibilities. It is as endless as the universe and grains of sand of creation. Number 275. If you are here and you have found me, then you are being given this opportunity by the universe. It is your heart that's led you to this door. Now it's up to you whether or not you are willing to walk through it. Number 276. Difficulty is of the mind. That's called non-acceptance. Let go of this idea of difficulty. Let go and rest in the heart. Allow it to open and for grace to spring to life. There are not two hearts, only one. There is not you and me. There is only self. So the heart goes from 274 up to 296. Next is surrender. 297. When we let go of the created, the Creator is seen. When even that Creator is let go of, then Source is. Number 298. Surrender allows grace to pull the self into the light of life, which dissolves separation and duality. With the ending of duality, there is only that one infinite perfection. Number 299. The more relaxed and surrendered, the easier the journey. You are not the doer, but the recipient of grace. So that goes from 297 up through 349. The now versus the past. The now. Excuse me. In reading these words, you must reflect, and in reflecting, you have missed the now, for the now is not of mind, thought, and reflection. The now is only found and maintained while in pure awareness, direct awareness, not reflection. In reflection, there is subject and object, and in pure awareness, the division is absent. Nor can you say that you perceive or experience, for also this is subjective and objective. The now is not a state, for a state is of mind. If you can speak of it, then again it becomes reflection and you are in the past. The now cannot be gauged by time, for it is constant, yet ever flowing in the Maya realm. The emptiness holds nothing, yet all manifests within it. Devoid of substance, like a dream, the Maya realm comes and goes, ever empty in nature. And the now, beyond mind, is constant in nature, while the Maya realm of mind and thought is ever in flux. And within the emptiness of now, they are both non-dual in nature. Okay, number 351. Each moment is a beginning and an ending that takes place in the unchanging reality, transient waves and ripples that create an illusion of time. Number 352. Stand up. Blow out what stale air is in the lungs and continue to breathe deeply. Each moment is an opportunity to enter into the recreation of your life. Up to this point, you have been stockpiling waste material as if it were gold, putting on layer after layer, until the pristine, whole, glorious self has been turned into a lump of unrecognizable shadows. Okay. So the now pointings go from number 350 up to 377. Oh no, up to 369. Next is the past. Number 370. There is no enlightenment within clinging to past nonsense. You are covering the truth over with illusions. 371. Let go. Why do you keep going back to bondage when freedom is at hand? 372. It is past. Why are you turning attention to there? There is nothing there that you don't hold there except by your cognition and fears. It's exhausted itself, and it's you alone that keep breathing life into it. Okay, so the past goes from 370 to 377. Next is the ego. What suffers is not who you are. That is a me story wrapped up in form. Let it go. Find that which is ever present and contains no suffering nor delusion. It is the essence of being. Don't throw away this opportunity to realize this core self. Come back to sadhana, do japa, open the heart, find gratitude for this opportunity to reach liberation. 379. Ego is ego. It is simply an attachment to mind and form as self. There is no false versus real ego. There is either ego or Jivan Mukti, which is liberation. Okay. Number 380. The me, quote, is comprised of stuff held together by an assumption of that having a valid reality. The transient stories that surround a form are the me. Okay, so that's from 378 up to, ego's a big, got a lot of pointings. Okay, it goes up to 465. 378 to 465. So it's a very substantial, large section. Mind. Mind is the small self, not the large self. Okay. 468. Watch the mind. Watch the emotions. They are evolving and changing. Thoughts come and go. What gives them substance is your attention to them and then allows the emotions to arise. This clothes the thoughts and makes them appear to have a kind of substance, but really they are empty in nature. Number 469. It is the mental gymnastics around form, emotions, and external transients that make it seem there is a separation. It is the mind in its identification with transient situations and form that are battled. Ah, hold on. I think my computer just, let me see if it's still running. Okay, yeah, we're still going. Okay. I'll start that over again. 469. It is the mental gymnastics around form, emotions, and external transients that make it seem there is a separation. It is the mind in its identification with transient situations and form that are battled. When one lets go, there is nothing left to battle. Ah, the paradox. You don't get there by the battle, but without the battle, one does not surrender. Okay. So